Yes, we kick off at Arsenal. Some great football tonight, eh, man?
Yeah,
Magic.
brilliant
Travelling to
football.
Slavia Prague even an earlier kick-off. That's at 5:45 on talkSPORT 2. Then it's the other side of North London. Spurs, who welcome Copenhagen to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and that's at 8 o'clock right here on talkSPORT. All the goals as they go in from across the other Champions League games, as well as the EFL, will be brought to you by the one and only Adrian Durham, who will be at Anfield. Here's Barry, the Liverpool fan, who gave us a call earlier and told us how he'll be greeting Adrian's arrival in Merseyside.
I'm practicing the boo and like that fella.
Barry. So
brilliant, mate.
come on, Barry. Give us what's your best boo then? You've been practicing.
Oh wait.
Sadly, Barry was, of course, not talking about booing Adrian, although some might still do that. Going to build up to the man himself. It's a very good morning, Adrian. How are you, mate?
How you doing, Aid?
Ali, Ray, I'm really good. I'm a bit worried about going to Anfield now.
Listen, well, to be fair, you're probably one of the few men that could get outbooed by Trent.
What have I done wrong?
I mean, you could reach an 80 or a 90 on the booometer.
Well, I am so relieved that Trent is going to be there tonight. I think he will get booed, but do you know what? I think it's more to do with unsettling an opponent than how they genuinely feel.
Yeah.
I mean, I was there at Leicester when they were struggling to make the breakthrough. It was 0-0. Trent Alexander-Arnold scored a brilliant goal, and all those fans celebrated with him. Yeah, he went over the corner flag right in front of them. They're all celebrating. They loved him in that moment. When they stepped back and looked at the situation, they didn't love him. But I do expect him to get booed tonight.
It's a massive game for Liverpool, Aid, isn't it? I mean, a good result of the weekend against Villa. They had a bit of a blip, haven't they, over the last month or so. Real Madrid could sometimes get you back on track again, and they've got a massive game the weekend, so they can get a good win tonight at Anfield. Might put them in good, ready to go at the weekend against City.
Mate, Liverpool haven't had a blip.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
They've had an absolute shocker. They've had a run of results, run of defeats that, for me, is going to keep them out of the title race. Now, the Champions League is slightly different because in this league stage, you can lose games and still go through, and I think they might just be getting themselves back together. But you're right what you say, that tonight's game, I think it's crucial in terms of a statement from Liverpool. I also think it's crucial in terms of Slot getting the team right, bearing in mind the changes that he made and how good they looked at the weekend. Yeah. So I think that in terms of finishing in the top 8 and not having to rely on a playoff, I think Liverpool getting a win tonight is vital for the fans more than anything else.
Aid, I want to move swiftly on because we're not got it for a long time, but Ray and I, we've had a brilliant morning this morning, mate. We've really enjoyed the crack, and it started off early. We were talking about comparing and we know it's all about opinions and it's difficult to compare eras, but we do it because we're football fans and we love doing it. And with the Arsenal Invincibles, with the current team, right, the first thing you've got to say, the current team haven't done anything like what the Arsenal Invincibles done. However, we had a bit of fun combining the two teams and trying to pick a best team. Tell me you've been involved. Have you got involved with it for us?
I've been listening all morning. Absolutely, yeah. I've got it written down. I've written it down here, but I've actually written it down, but I've chopped and changed my mind. I've crossed it out.
That's how difficult it is, yeah.
Yep.
It's so difficult. And something you just said there, Ali, makes me think that you've got to just go with the 11 from the Invincibles.
Yeah.
And then I'm thinking to myself, I'm not actually that big on the Invincibles. And don't just hear me out, right? Because they lost a lot of games. They lost games in the Champions League. They lost games in the League Cup. They lost games in the FA Cup. So I'm thinking...
No, we was concentrating on the league. That was their main objection that year.
And I do think if you'd been in the side more, Ray, you wouldn't have lost those games.
So, yeah, I played in all those games.
They drew a lot of games as well. I think 12 of the 38 they drew. Ray and I have had this conversation before, that, and maybe I've even spoken to Arsenal players who think that other title-winning sides from that era were better than the 03-04 side. So it's up for debate. But actually, when you look at the overall picture, the fact that you've just said there, Ali, this side has won nothing, and that side won a title, I think I'll have to go with that side, just completely, and then wait and see if this side do anything, because we can big players up and big teams up, and then they end up winning nothing. So I'm going with the 03-04 Invincible side over this one, simply because this lot have won nothing.
We're running out of time as well. That's why I've done that.
Brilliant.
But I'm putting Parlour in.
Absolutely. The Parlour in campaign starts
Parlour.
here. It starts here. Do you know something? I feel really bad now because see, we're picking the teammate. I never even gave a fella a mention. That's diabolical. He's sitting right next to me.
Ahead of him.
I was doing a team talk, Ali.
Ed, I've got to move you on. Interesting the last couple of days, and I know you enjoy your ladies' football. Great, we all do. And here's a question for you, mate. Did you see this coming? This kind of bust up?
No. I mean, I got messaged about it at the weekend, and basically I'd kind of clocked off from preparing on Friday night at about 7 p.m. I was going to have an evening with the wife, and then I got this message saying this is going to be in the papers tomorrow from Mary Earps' book, and I was reeled back in. Incredible stuff, absolutely incredible. And then Leanne Sanderson does an interview with Mary Earps yesterday, and it's unmissable. It's on talkSPORT 2 again at 1 o'clock today, the women's football show. I listened to the whole interview last night, listened to the whole show back last night, driving away from Sunderland. And
what was your initial fact, mate? Did she backtrack or did she double down?
No, she kind of explained it. She kind of, you could interpret it as backtracking. Yeah, absolutely. And I don't think she comes out of it very well, Mary Earps. Listen, when you write a book and it's your story and you put it out there, you have to own those words. Yes. And I think she's failed to do that completely. So I don't think Mary comes out of it very well. But in many ways, listening to Leanne's interview with her, I feel quite sorry for her because I just genuinely don't think she realised how big this story would be. So I do. She got very emotional in the interview. But listen, England went and won the Euros. The managers won 3 European Championships in a row. Hannah Hampton is literally the best goalkeeper in the world. Somebody comes out and criticises them. They're not going to get much support from the English football public. So I think she's just made a bad decision. I'd say she's been badly advised. But I did end up feeling a little bit sorry for her after listening to Leanne's interview last night.
Here's a quick question for you then, Adrian, right? Maybe it didn't come out the way that she wanted, and I get that, and maybe Hannah's upset, Sarina's upset, whatever it may be. We get all that. That's part and parcel sometimes of when you do books, you're not going to keep everybody happy. Has it done the women's game any harm?
No, it's a great point because, listen, the profile and the story in itself. I was hearing some pundits at the weekend, pundits on the women's game saying, we should be talking about the football. And I'm thinking, hang on a minute. You need characters. You need personalities. It's not just the football in the men's game and the women's game. It's not just the football that's the talking point. Sometimes it's how people feel about each other. It's the emotions that come through as well. And that's exactly what we're talking about here. So, no, I don't think it's done the women's game any harm whatsoever. You're quite right. I think exactly the reverse in terms of the individual, the human being, though.
Yep.
You know, Mary Earps has got to deal with a lot at the moment, and it's of her own making to a large extent, but she's got to deal with a lot at the moment. So I think she's got to make sure she gets the next steps right. But I'm definitely looking forward to reading the book, and I don't think she'll be too unhappy with the book sales either.
I know you love the Championship as well, and there's some cracking games tonight, and it's such a great league, isn't it? Some big teams who are expected to get promotion this year are struggling a little bit. You know, Southampton's, Norwich. Look at Norwich down the bottom of the table as well, and Wrexham with 2 unbelievable results, beating Middlesbrough and obviously Coventry. So some cracking games tonight in the Championship.
Yeah, absolutely. Coventry against Sheffield United live on talkSPORT 2 tonight is a huge game. Will Coventry get back on track? Given Sheffield United's form, you'd expect them to do that. I look at Leicester as well, who just keep losing at the moment. Lovely. I mean, I think he's under a lot of pressure, Cifuentes. And you talked about Norwich, who don't play tonight. Bottom 3, they've lost all of their home games. Liam Manning clinging on there. We're actually doing Game Day Live on Saturday from Stoke against Coventry, a real top-of-the-table clash. And Stoke, who, since they got relegated, haven't finished in the top half of the Championship, which is incredible, bearing in mind they were relegated in 2018. This could be, and I know their fans have said it many times, it could be Stoke's year.
Some result at the weekend, mate. That result against Bristol City was some result. Terrific result.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, mate, I've got to say to you, I hope we get the same game and the same kind of reaction that we got Liverpool versus Real Madrid last year when I was up there for that game, because what a game it was, mate. And if you get the same again, that place will be absolutely jumping. So enjoy it, mate.
Cheers.